This is the third game and the tiebreaker between V.O.D, Scalp Hunter and Aggony1Pain1Achilles in the random faction flash tournament. So this is the final battle of the tournament that I will be uploading, because it is the last one, the tiebreaker between these two players. The score is 1-1. The factions were chosen at random by a random faction generator. Very unfair indeed. So in this matchup, Aggony1Pain1Achilles got Syracuse and Scalp Hunter got Parthia. So I think most people would say that Scalp Hunter was the lucky one in this case. For Achilles, we have a center of 6 thorax swords. We have a bunch of citizen and Italian cavalry, militia hoplite speed bumps, 4 Thureos, 1 militia hoplite, Hippeus general, and 1 skirmisher cavalry. For Scalp Hunter and Parthia, we have 2 mercenary summation horse. We have a bunch of eastern slingers, 3 eastern spears, camel spears, war elephants, Median cavalry, royal cataphracts, and just a few swords. So, skirmish advantage, Parthia. Cavalry advantage, Parthia. Infantry advantage, Syracuse. Shocking. Now, Syracuse does have a problem here, because while the Thureos can be effective against elephants, the Thureos can also be shot down simply by having a unit touching them, and then they will stop throwing their javelins. These skirmisher cavalry are being cunningly hidden in the forest over here. So if the elephants start to move this way, then they have a surprise coming. But the elephants are on the opposite flank, so it might be a bit risky to keep the skirmisher cavalry all the way over there. For some reason, Achilles isn't screening the horse archers with his militia hoplites. He's moving his militia hoplites up front, keeping this unit in the rear. So he should probably start screening with his Thureos and with his militia hoplites now. It looks like he's just going to go super aggressive and push the Parthian lines back, which isn't a bad idea, because he has the infantry to do it. He has a nice screen of cavalry, but he's taking so much damage on his citizen cavalry here, due to not screening appropriately. So that is bad, and I don't like him using his skirmisher cavalry on this flank when there are elephants on this flank. I would much rather like to see him use his skirmisher cavalry to protect his rear from the elephants here. And again, taking so much damage from the mercenary summation horse. You don't want mercenary summation horse to be shooting at your cavalry. That's a very bad time for the cavalry. Making a nice push here for the lines of Parthia. If he can rush Parthia effectively here, neutralize the skirmishers, and deal with the elephants, I think Achilles has a very good chance, because Scalp Hunter is not kiting here. Nice frontal cavalry charge incoming from the citizen cavalry, and the follow-up from the thorax swords is going to be devastating now for Parthia. But again, I do not like... Look here. He has an opening to go for the elephants, but he doesn't take it. He's going to charge in and waste his most important unit for dealing with the elephants. And I think that is going to come back to haunt Achilles, because now the elephants are moving in. There's a lot of cavalry in the way, but they should be able to break through a lot of it. These Thureos spears are not going to be able to fire when these Median cavalry hit them. So here we have cataphracts and Median cavalry moving in through the blob. The Thureos spears are not firing, well, no, they're not firing on the elephants. They are firing on the royal cataphracts. The royal cataphracts are able to break through the blob. And here we have, let's just pause it here, because let's have a look at how spread out the elephants are. We have elephants from here to here. Okay, so that is a distance that is about 120. So a unit that has a range of 80 that wants to shoot at the elephants is going to aim for the center of the elephant unit. Now, you tell me where the center of the elephant unit is, which elephant is in the center and which isn't. So, judging by the attack orders of the Italian cavalry and the militia hoplites, the center of the elephants is somewhere around here. That means that these Thureos spears are not going to be in range to shoot at the elephants before the elephants actually hit them. This is a huge problem, and in my opinion it breaks games. So while these Thureos should be able to fire at the elephants there, it's only going to be blind luck if they hit the elephants, because they're not actually aiming for the elephants, they are aiming for the center of the elephant unit, from what I can see, and from how the javelins are hitting. So you'll see that the Thureos are not actually trying to hit these elephants. Now they are managing to hit the elephants as the elephants move into range. Median cavalry coming in to shut down the Thureos. The elephants haven't started dropping yet, but they are out of control. Getting into the skirmishers of Parthia, lots of cavalry in the backlines of Parthia now. The infantry engagements are being won by Achilles, but there's a lot of free cavalry for Parthia able to deal with the infantry and the cavalry of Syracuse. But these Indian war elephants right here, if they don't die, if they don't start running amok in the right directions, then it's going to be a huge problem. So, doing some nice work here in throwing javelins at the Indian war elephants, but they just don't want to die yet. If Achilles had his skirmisher cavalry in the backlines now, if he used his citizen cavalry to chase away the mercenary Sarmatian horse, or just militia hoplites, could potentially be huge. So the elephants are just going to run around and wreck all the infantry that Achilles has left here. It's going to be super hard for him to make anything work. He still has his Thureos spears fire, but the accuracy against elephants is so poor that they're not really a reliable counter to elephants. The elephants are dropping very, very quickly now, so that's good for Achilles. But 300 kills on elephants, yes, they do need that in order to be cost effective, but they made many more units rout off the field. And the infantry engagement that Achilles was winning in the center here was just completely turned around by this elephant unit. And now it looks like Scalp Hunter is going to do some friendly fire to his own elephants here, but the elephants are so depleted that it probably doesn't matter much at this point. Camel spears incoming to mop up some fleeing troops there. And now there's not much that Syracuse can do. So the initial push by Achilles was very nice. Scalp Hunter stopped kiting, so Syracuse was able to engage. The problem was not being able to deal with the elephants early enough. Had Achilles been able to do that, then this battle could have looked very differently, but congratulations to Scalp Hunter. He won the tournament, the entire thing. Let's see here. Yeah, decisively higher amount of kills for Parthia than Syracuse here. The elephants getting 322 kills. Syracuse and cavalry not doing much. The infantry did a fairly good job, I think, but in my opinion, the thing that potentially cost Achilles the game, not screening the horse archers with militia hoplites, and not keeping the skirmisher cavalry nearby to deal with the elephants. If he had done those two things, I think he definitely could have done this. And look at these Parthian swords, 200 kills. But thank you for joining the tournament to both Achilles and Scalp Hunter. I had a lot of fun watching your games. And yeah, luck was a massive part of this tournament, but it was sort of designed to. Some players got the short end of the stick consistently, but were able to make it work. Other players were a lot more lucky with their faction picks, and picking the right factions and the right builds, that's pretty much everything in this game. You can micro all you want, but if every single unit that you have on your side is worse than the units that your enemy has, it's just going to be an uphill struggle. And while it can be done, it basically requires you to play the perfect game, while your opponent doesn't really have to play that well. So in that sense, the game can be very, very unbalanced, as this tournament kind of highlighted, I think, and vice versa. If you have a super strong build from a super strong faction, but you just have no idea how to use it, then yes, if your opponent plays the perfect game and you play a lackluster game, then you can absolutely get defeated. But if player skill is somewhat equal, and one player gets a gimped faction and another player gets a strong faction, well, it usually goes the way of the stronger faction. So, let me know what you think of the faction, of the format. Let me know what you thought of the tournament. Was it fun watching these random matchups and so on? I've gotten quite a lot of feedback already, which I appreciate greatly, but I hope you had fun. Most of all, I hope you had fun watching these tournaments. Thank you to all of the players for participating in the tournament and making it a lot of fun for me to host and a lot of fun to watch. And I have to commend the players in this tournament because there was zero bullshit. Which you don't see that often. Maybe it was the silliness of the whole tournament that made the players not care too much about how things went, but I don't know. Strength and honor.